Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the best basketball shoes for outdoor use, right? And outdoor use, there needs to be specific features in a basketball shoe if you're gonna be playing on an outdoor court. And of course, if you're gonna be playing on an outdoor court, the number one thing is going to be outsole durability, right? So you need hard, thick rubber. If it's like little nubs, thin rubber, soft rubber, it'll just rip right off and not be good for durability, right? So that's a lot of Nike shoes, and there's not a lot of Nike shoes on this list, just heads up for y'alls. There are a couple though, however, right? Also, another thing that you need is good cushion, because I mean, if you're younger, I guess not really, but I feel like most people, you need to have a little bit of cushion if you're gonna be playing on an outdoor court, right? So if you're playing on a wood floor, it actually flexes, right? You can see the flex when you're jumping and stuff like that, especially in the slow motion footage. But if you're playing on concrete, cement and stuff like the asphalt, it's literally rock. You know what I mean? So there's no flex. Your feet and your legs are gonna be taking all that impact when you're jumping and stuff like that. So you need good impact protection. You need a softer kind of foam. So court feel is not going to be a priority. It's going to be more impact protection and how soft the cushion is, right? And also another thing is durability of the upper, right? That's not the case for most people because I mean, if you do toe drags and stuff like that, you need to watch out. If you have a really thin material and you do toe drags and you're playing outside, you're gonna burn a hole through the upper, especially in the toe box, obviously, right? But if you don't do toe drags, and you should be fine. You don't really need to worry about the durability of the upper as much, of course. But yeah, also another thing is it's summer, right? And if you're gonna be playing outside, especially in the heat, you might want a little bit of ventilation. So a thinner upper, more airflow is going to be better, right? So if you don't do toe drags, you probably might want a well ventilated upper as well. So I'm gonna tell you guys what's good for what, because there might be different things that people want for an outdoor shoe. But yeah, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I try to leave the affiliate link in the description box. And if you do choose to get any of these shoes, it does help me out if you buy it through the links in the description box or the product kind of pictures underneath this video. And as always, thank you guys so much for all the support. But let's get it started right off with the 361 degrees AG4. And the AG4 is a pretty old shoe, but it's still available on 361 degrees, like their website. So yeah, it's 130 bucks. So also another thing that's kind of important, not super important, I guess if you're balling, it doesn't really matter about the price, but if you're trying to save money, like I'm trying to put cheaper shoes, or I did try to put cheaper shoes on this list, because yeah, if you're gonna be playing on outdoor court, the shoe's gonna wear out a little bit quicker, obviously, right? So yeah, 130 bucks for the AG4, and the traction is pretty hard. You know, it's pretty thin and soft in the midfoot area, but where the highway area is in the heel, and also like kind of where the balls of your feet are, it's a thicker and harder rubber. So you should be fine on the outdoor court. It is abrasion resistant as well, or that's what 361 says. And also the cushion's super duper nice. It's using full length quick CQ tech foam, and it has that soft mesh trouble board. So underfoot cushion is amazing, and also impact protection is great. And the upper also feels pretty dang sturdy, right? It's supported, but it's not super thick, but it doesn't feel really thin. You know what I mean? And also there is a little bit of fuse in the toe box as well, so if you're doing toe drag, you should be fine. So the AG4 is a great option. All right, next we got the Adidas Harden Volume 8, right? So the Harden Volume 8, very hot shoe. So if you're looking for a very well ventilated shoe, especially for the summer, it's really hot. I mean, I'm sweating right now. It's like, I think it was like 90 something degrees today, right? So I even have the fan on. Hopefully the fan isn't getting picked up by the mic, but anyways, it's gonna be hot in the Hardens, right? If you're playing on outdoor court. But anyways, the traction feels pretty good for durability. I mean, the little nubs, it's not super hard, but I feel like it'll be pretty good on the outdoor court. And also, cushion's pretty dang nice. If you're doing hard impacts, you should be good to go. Your feet are not gonna hurt. Like the underfoot cushion is really nice with the boost. And also, court feel is still pretty dang good in the Hardens, right? And if you're doing toe drags, you also have that kind of like shroud thing, so you should be fine as well. So the Hardens, super duper nice. Next, we got the D.O.N issue 5. So the D.O.N issue 6 came out, and I already have a pair right there, but the D.O.N issue 5, I looked on the Adidas website, and it's going for 60 bucks right now on sale. And the traction, right, the rubber is super duper hard. You got the herringbone, and also with the light strike cushion, you have good compression. It's not the best for court feel, but obviously that's not really a priority in my personal opinion. So impact protection on, especially on heel strike, you should be fine. And the material is really durable too. I mean, with that synthetic, you know what I mean? So if you're doing toe drag, you should be fine. You know, obviously not the best for ventilation. You can't have good durability in the toe box with really good ventilation, obviously, right? I mean, there's one or two shoes that do that, but most of the time it's either one or the other, you know what I mean? But yeah, D.O.N Shoe 5 for 60 bucks, really solid performer, really good price right now, and it'll be very durable, right? Next, we got the Nike GT Hustle 2, right? So the GT Hustle 2 is on sale for like 120, 130 bucks, but the rubber is actually quite hard, especially with that circle pattern with the herringbone on it. That rubber is pretty dang hard, so I feel like it'll be durable on the outdoor court. The upper is really thin, so if you do toe drags, just be careful with that. But if you don't, it's a thin material, so you should be fine. And also with the cushion, you got full length zoom strobel, so obviously you should be fine for impact protection if you're playing on an outdoor court, right? So there is the GT Hustle 2. Next, we got the GT Cut Academy. So the GT Cut Academy is only $95, and then the traction feels really durable, right? You have really good traction, but with that herringbone, it's very close together. You have a lot of surface area, and the rubber is on the harder side of things, so you should be fine on the outdoor court. And also for the cushion, it's not the best on this list, but you should be good to go. You got full length renew, and my feet didn't really hurt at all when I was playing on like a wooden indoor court, you know what I mean? So if you're playing on outdoor court, I feel like the cushion has you covered. And then with the upper, you have a little bit of fuse in the toe box, and it's not super thin or anything, so you should be covered with the upper. All right, next we got the two-way V4 by New Balance, right? So one thing about the traction, however, is that I definitely feel like they should have switched the herringbone and like that hexagonal traction pattern, you know what I mean? Where the highway area is, like the balls of your feet, that's where the thinner kind of hexagonal traction pattern is, you know what I mean? So that kind of sucks, but for the most part, I feel like it'll be pretty dang good for durability. Not the best, but I feel like it'll be pretty good. Also for the cushion, you're covered, right? It's amazing. You got fuel cell and also fresh foam, I believe it was, and it's just really thick, especially in the heel. It's super duper soft and very plush, so you should be good to go for impact protection. And then for the upper, just be careful. It is a mesh material in the toe box, so probably not the best option if you do a lot of toe drags, but if you don't, I mean, obviously it's not a huge deal, right? So there's a two-way V4. Next, we got the New Balance Fresh Foam BB V2, right? So same thing, you know, the rubber, it is on the harder side of things. It's not super hard, but also not super soft. So it's probably not going to be the best option for outdoor use, but I feel like it'll hold its own for the traction. Also for the cushion, is super duper nice. It's using fresh foam. It's very plush, super thick. You have really great impact protection. And also the upper, especially with the old school materials like the suede and leather, you should be fine for toe drags, right? So the Fresh Foam BB-V2, very, very good option. Next, we got, I feel like one of the best shoes for outdoor use right now that you can get, which is the Serious Player Only Ranger 1, right? So definitely for ventilation, that shoe's gonna be freaking hot. So just be careful with that, but durability wise, you should be fine. That shoe is literally a tank, you know? So the outsole, the rubber is super duper hard, and you should be fine on the outdoor court. Also, you have that outsole curvature, which doesn't matter for outdoor use, but that's kind of nice, you know? And then for the cushion, it's not only just the drop-in midsole, right? Because if you look at the Player 1 Plus, the Player 1 Plus is just a drop-in midsole and then rubber, right? But the Ranger 1, you have the drop-in midsole and then a little bit of the EVA underneath that EVA midsole. So it's pretty much like double stacked. The court feel isn't the best, but it's still pretty good, and you have a good amount of compression and bounce from the explosive drop-in midsole, but also really good impact protection. So I really like that. And then also the upper, you know, the plastic kind of toe cap is really, really good for toe drags. You know, you should be covered for that, and supports great and all that. So the Ranger 1, probably one of the best options on this list for outdoor use, just not the best for, you know, ventilation, right? Next, we got the Li-Ning 4. The Li-Ning 4, so the material is kind of soft and really, really thin. It's like this mesh material, so just be careful with toe drags, but it has really good ventilation. The traction, you should be fine, right? You have a lot of surface area, like the herringbone is really close together, and the rubber is, you know, pretty hard, and the cushion is extremely, extremely nice. You know, you got full length boom, and it's extremely bouncy, and impact protection is really, really good as well. So there is the Li-Ning 4. So in this kind of like these next shoes is more for ventilation, right? And also if you want a very lightweight and very well ventilated shoe that still has very good durability for the outsole, but you still want to feel like really good and low to the ground, then these are the shoes for you, I guess, for younger people, you know what I mean? So first of all, we got the Wade Flash. The Wade Flash, the traction should be good to go. You got lightning bolts and stuff like that, but they are pretty thick. It is supposed to be abrasion resistant. It's tough rubber from Wade, so you should be fine for the outsole. However, the cushion, you are very low to the ground, right? So it was adequate for me for impact protection on the indoor court. However, I feel like because like it is on the, you have really good court feel in that shoe, right? So because of that, I feel like the impact protection isn't going to be the best. But like I said, you know, if you're playing on an outdoor court, you're younger and you want something lower to the ground, but still have really good outsole durability and really, really good ventilation, the Wade Flash has one of the best ventilations on any basketball shoe, then the Wade Flash is an amazing option. Next, we got also the brand new AC12, right? So we got, I like to call it the summer version of the All City 12. And the All City 12 is like the outsole is very, very durable, really hard rubber. You got a lot of surface area. The cushion also is really, really nice. You have full length boom. You have really good court feel, but still it's soft and impact protection is still really, really good. The upper obviously is not going to be the best and most durable. So if you do toe jabs, probably not the best option, although there is a little bit of fuse in the toe box, you know, the edge of the toe box, but still just be careful with that. But it has really, really good ventilation. And same thing with the brand new Shadow 5 V2. You know what I mean? So the traction, you're gonna be good to go as well. You have really hard rubber, you have a lot of grooves as well, and it's pretty much designed for outdoor use, of course, right? But also you have really good cushion. You have Cloud Plus foam. It's plush. It's actually pretty thick as well. You have a lot of compression. Impact protection is really, really good. But the V2, you have that like really open mesh material. You know what I mean? But if you do toe drags, you do have a good amount of fuse in the toe box, right? So you should be covered for toe drags, but you also have really good ventilation in that shoe with good outsole durability and really good cushion for outdoor use. So that's one of the better shoes on this list, right? But also, if you want something a little bit more durable for the upper, then just get the regular Shadow 5. And also that shoe is like on sale for like $100. The V2 is new, so it's $120, I believe. And last but not least, of course, we got the Player 1 Plus if you want something a little bit more lower to the ground and better ventilation and lighter, right? The outsole is really good. The rubber is really hard, so you should be good to go for outsole durability. The cushion, however, is not the best. You know what I mean? Like, it's really low to the ground. It's adequate for me for on the indoor court. However, on an outdoor court, your feet and your knees are probably gonna hurt a little bit, you know what I mean? So just be careful with that, but you have really good court feel. But the upper does have really good ventilation, you know what I mean? So yeah, so the last couple of shoes with that list, it's a little bit more for younger people, especially if you want a good outsole durability with really good ventilation for the summer. But before that, of course, like, you know, the Hardens, the two-way V4 and stuff like that, those are going to be good for just outdoor use in general, you know, but a little bit hotter maybe, you know. But anyways, hope this video helped you guys out if you are playing on an outdoor court. And again, if you guys do want to copy any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.